Somebody impact your life, something happened or adult person, okay, we're gonna talk together about who impact your life, because this is the reason we're here, okay. We work like a PCA because we love to take care of people, okay. Just get somebody next to you and talk, okay. Thank you.
So everybody turn to the person next to you and have a conversation about what you learned from a grandparent or an elder in your life. So just turn to whoever is next to you and please have that conversation.
So I learned from my mom how to for others.
Oh,
Because she advocated for me to make
amen. She did. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I said. Family was corrupted. I learned how to travel a lot because I was back and forth everywhere. That's all I know. Huh? With my mom and my dad, I traveled everywhere. When we were small, I was always from one place to another place to another place. Mira, nobody's talking to you. Tú tienes que preguntarle algo.
They said to tell you something you learned from a grandparent. So something me and Josh learned from his grandma is that he's a Johnson. Because she keeps saying,
You gotta be. You want a video for? Can you video for Rosie?
no, Mom, I'm eating.
No, tell them.
Huh? He wants you to. You should have had here. Just put.
Okay, good. Spanish food, rice and peas. Because the chicken meatballs. Some of those mothers make that. That's good.
I think you can pull people back together now.
I want to wear that.
Okay, everybody, we're going to come back together. We're going to come back together. I'm going to call on a couple of people here. My name is Becca Gutman. I'm Vice President of Home Care with our union. And Judy, can you share one thing that you learned that was a piece of wisdom that someone learned from their grandparent? Nice and loud.
So I was talking with Gilberto, and he said that you learn how to be independent, take care of yourself, and don't depend on nobody for anything.
That's great. So let's give Judy and Gilberto a round of applause. Gilberto learned how to be independent from his grandparents. So Joaquina.
Él aprendió cómo ser independiente de los padres, de los abuelos.
Joaquina,
Cómo
can
hacer
you
los
share
abuelos independientes.
something that a piece of wisdom that you heard from Lesbia, something Lesbia learned from a grandparent?
Alguna cosa que tú has aprendido de los abuelos.
No, but I got one. Well, you know how when I always goes out and helps people all the time? Well, when I told me that you should go out and help other people.
Okay. So Lesbia learned how to cook from her grandmother.
Está buena. Algo que tú me enseñaste. Que es bueno salir para ayudar a las personas, a las otras personas que necesitan.
Great. I read back. Hi. Thank you, Senator, for being here. Do you want me to keep going with my piece? Okay, great. So I first want to just ask everybody, it's a small room, but a really big crowd. So if I could ask folks to keep their voices down so we can hear each other.
Que un grupo, no es un grupo grande, pero el espacio no es muy grande, por eso por favor hablen bajito.
Do you mind? Sure. I want to recognize Senator Oliveira, who is with us right now. We're so glad that you're eating and sharing food with us, Senator. So we're going to start by talking about why we are here tonight. We're facing some threats in our country and in our state right now. Does anybody want to throw out some ideas of some threats we are facing at the federal level right now? What are some of the programs that are threatened at the federal level right now? Any ideas? Lesbia. Medicare, Medicaid. And Lesbia, why is that important to us as PCAs? That's right. Because our paychecks come from Medicaid, from Mass Health, and our consumer employers' hours come from Mass Health or Medicaid. So as a union, we are fighting back. So far, there have not been cuts to Medicaid, but the Trump administration and the Republicans on a national level are threatening it every day. So, as a union, we are fighting that on a federal level. At the same time, in this budget cycle in this state, our governor, who's our governor? Maura Healey. Governor Healey, in her budget, proposed that the PCA, that there be a cap on the PCA program. That the PCA program would only be able to grow by about 3.5 or 3.6%. So I want you guys to think about this, and I want you to throw out some ideas to me. Why do you think the PCA program is growing right now? Why is it getting more expensive? Any ideas why the PCA program has gotten more expensive over the last few years? Alva.
One of the reasons is because a lot of people are aging.
Yes, there's more and more elders in Massachusetts. This should be no surprise to any of us. There's more and more elders across the country. We knew that this was coming, and the PCA program should be there to serve our elders. What's one other reason the PCA program is getting more expensive? What is something that we as PCAs get every year?
Raise. Everything is rising in cost.
Everything is rising in cost, and because everything is rising in cost, we as PCAs, like Carmen said, we need a raise, right? So do we think, one, that it's a good idea that we should say, sorry, elders, we can't accept you onto the program, there's just not enough money?
No.
Does anybody think that's a good idea?
No.
Or should we say, sorry, PCAs, you can't get a raise?
No.
We know that the cost of eggs and everything else is going up, but sorry, no raise for PCAs. Anybody think that's a good idea?
No.
Of course, it's a terrible idea. That is why we are here tonight. We're here tonight to talk. I'm wondering if somebody could get me a thing of water. We're here to, thank you. Oh, I got one, Gina. Thank you, Senator. The Senator got me some water, Gina. I'm good. We're here tonight to say to our Senator, Senator Oliveira, and our other elected officials, that there should not be a cap on the PCA program, right? Here's the really good news. Our state representatives came out with their budget today, and guess what? It was really good news. They rejected the governor's proposal, and they said, you know what? Of course, we need to keep an eye on the PCA program, but we don't need to put a cap on it like that. We should engage PCAs, we should engage advocates in an ongoing conversation about how to make sure the PCA program is sustainable. That makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
So we want to thank our state representatives, and we want to say to our state senators, please stand with us. Please make a common sense decision about the PCA program. That's why we're here tonight. Did anybody here come to our action on March 12th at the State House? Awesome. Can I hear from somebody who hasn't spoken yet? What was it like to be there on March 12th at the State House? Could you share? Could you stand up and share? Did you come on March 12th? No, I'm talking to you. Did you come on March 12th? Oh, good. Well, can you share what it was like to come on March 12th?
Bueno, pues yo diría que fue bastante de nosotros, fuimos a apoyar, hasta cantamos, nos metimos a la oficina de allá del Estado. Hubo un buen apoyo de nosotras.
Yeah, there was a lot of people were giving support to the march. I think it was good.
That's great. So let's give a round of applause for everybody who came on March 12th. We need our elected officials to listen to us. We need our elected officials to listen to consumer employers. We are the people who are the most important to the PCA program, right? So everybody should have this in front of you. If you don't, you can raise your hand and we'll get you one. We want to send an email to our state representatives and say thank you. And we want to send an email to our state senators and say, please, the original idea, there's a work group. There's a work group that is made up of advocates that is making recommendations for the PCA program. That recommendation for that work group actually came from the state Senate last year. And so we want to say to our state senators, thank you for that recommendation. It's a much better recommendation than the recommendation that Governor Healy made. If you use your phone, you can use this QR code and you can very easily send an email to our state senators and our state representatives. You can do that right now with your phone.
Take a picture and it's going to pack up in your phone, okay?
Or you can take this home and you can do it then. And I think right now, I'm going to, Gina, do you want to come on next? Great. So thank you everybody for being here. I'm really excited. I'm excited to introduce you to Gina Frank, our political director.
Hi everybody! 1-1? I didn't hear you. 1-1? 1-1? Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I'm Gina Frank. I'm the political director here in Massachusetts. Si quieren interpretación, everyone have interpretation who needs it? ¿Necesita interpretación? No? Okay. So
let's try to keep our voices down. We don't have a microphone in here. So if we can just keep our voices down so we can all get done what we need to get done.
This is a great problem because we have so many people here. And I'm excited, so excited to once again recognize Senator Oliveira and House Leader Carlos Gonzalez. So we invited them here to join us today to talk about the issues that we're facing as PCAs and as members of our community. And so I think first, if you all want, I was going to invite a consumer and a PCA to both sort of speak and talk about the issues because, we're talking about the budget, like we said, about, we were really concerned about the governor's proposal to put a permanent cap on the PCA program, but we were really happy and grateful to see that the House included in the Ways and Means budget, thank you for your leadership, Leader Gonzalez, to continue the work of the working group that was created initially by the Senate last year. So I would love, Carmen, if I could hand it over to you to talk about as we continue to protect the PCA program.
We need to figure out how to move this.
Can
we try to move this?
Yeah. Mind if we move this one to the right just a little bit? Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, be careful.
Carmen, you got space?
I got a liner.
I like coming for a long time.
I was all fancy, but I got a.
Long time.
Let me fix this.
She's a good leader, Carmen.
Josh doesn't have a table.
She working in Stavros and everything, yeah? Carmen, talk about you first.
Good afternoon. My name is Carmen Rosado, and I'm the community advocate, access advocate at Stavros. I do a lot of community outreach for the last 16 years. At the beginning, when I was born, quote, quote, normal. I had a tumor in my upper spinal cord near my brain. So at age 4 months, I got diagnosed with a tumor. So I had a surgery that changed my life forever. When people ask me, oh, you missed this, doing that, and I'm like, are you crazy? I don't know, because I was like this all my life. So my mom fought a lot for me when I was a kid, and found a place where I could get to the United States and get surgery for my arms. But what happened was, at that time, I got an MRI, and it stated that I had a tumor the size of a grapefruit in my near my brain. So I had like a 50-50 chance of survival at age 14, and then the same at age 16. I had 2 surgeries, and they were fully paid through donation from Boston Center for Children hospital. And then after that, my mom met my stepfather, who adopted me at age 17. Also, I was able to attend a school for the first time in 1992. So I went from 0 to 10th grade, Central High in Springfield. From there, through the PCA program, I was able to attend Holyoke Community College. So I was able to do something for myself and start something for my community. Before I graduated from high school, my English teacher and her husband donated me my first power share. So I was able to go to my prom and spend the whole entire evening up to midnight. I don't know how it happened that my dad was able to pick me up at that time, because it was a little later than usual. Then I was at Holyoke Community College doing the same thing. I was a tutor in the math department for a few years until I graduated in 1999. But I was also advocating on behalf of accessibility at Holyoke Community College. Then, from there, through the PCA program, I was able to attend UMass. I graduated twice. So I spent 8 years at UMass the first time it was like,
años en la universidad.
if I can survive 1 month, I will make it. And I told my mom, well, my mom was like, oh, this is a little farther, but I'm like, but mom, you raised me very independent to do the same things that my brothers that were able to walk did. So it was equal opportunity when it was time to reprimand us or hitting us. At UMass, I survived not only 1 month, I survived 8 years. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in mathematics and my master's degree in secondary education. And that was through the PCA program. Also, there was the time for me to find an apartment, so I lived closer. So I found my first apartment in Amherst, and I had PCA program, the PCA program. Unfortunately, sometimes some PCAs didn't show up, but I stay in my place still struggling, but then it was a time to move out of that little apartment to a bigger one. Because I had so many stuff, so I needed to be able to have a second room so I can put my equipment and everything that I needed in a second bed, just in case the PCA needed to stay there, or even my parents when they go to my house. Now they visit me and escape from their daily life. And then 2 years after I graduated from UMass, I was able to get my job at Stavros, and this is my 16 years.
All right.
Yeah, they survived me, and they cannot fire me because otherwise, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be anywhere. But with the help with my PCAs, I was able to accomplish these things. And it's the best program that I ever had.
Thank you so much, Carmen. Really appreciate it.
Personal question. How do you feel?
I feel
when do you no. How do you feel when the PCA knows that you needed that person and that person doesn't show up? How do you feel?
¿Cómo tú te sientes cuando tú necesitas la PCA? Sabe que tú necesitas a ella no
in the past,
te va a ir trabajo.
probably 7 years, it has been difficult for me to find the perfect fit for me.
En los últimos 7
Now,
años es difícil encontrar
right now,
una persona.
a year, it has been a year, and now I have the perfect crew for PCA.
Thank you so much, Carmen. And just want to flag that, part of what makes that possible is the complex care differential that folks that we want in our contract, right? And also that PCAs are earning closer to a living wage now because of our strong wins in our contracts.
Exactly.
That's what they mean when they talk about the growth in the program. It's workers earning closer to a living wage, and it's more seniors in particular aging into the program. Those are the two cost drivers.
Gina, something it just came to my mind.
Yeah.
And it's making sure the mass health, for example, making sure that people like her has a mandatory PCA and a backup.
Yes.
Because these people, they really need somebody there all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, it's important to know that also there are people who are coming from a nursing home facility to the community. People who are younger than me or a little bit older than me, and they also need PCA programs. So it's important for them to be able to have a decent PCA and a decent place to live, so they can do things like I do in the community.
Yeah, para mantenerla.
Thank you. I want to be.
I know Carmen for so long. No, Carmen. When I was a PCA and I was visiting Stavros' office, I talked to Carmen. She's wonderful, okay? You hear her, okay? Let's applaud Carmen again.
I want to hear from the electeds who are here, but first, I just want to invite up Jorge Ruiz, a PCA, to also talk about his experience.
¿Puedes hablar en español yo?
Sí. Hola a
Oh,
todos.
no.
Bye, everybody.
The English people doesn't have the earphone, so if
Yes,
he speaks
we give it. We give it to everybody.
for everybody,
Yeah, only.
because he only speaks in Spanish.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Jorge, soy PCA por 16 años.
I am PCA for 16 years.
Cuando vine aquí de Puerto Rico acá,
Cuando
pues
llegué de Puerto Rico
vi
para acá,
una persona que estaba encamada y
I
necesitaba
saw a
ayuda.
person in bed, need help.
Y yo pues como tengo corazón blandito, le dije, yo te ayudo.
And then
Sí.
because I'm a very
Si yo no sabía que era estabro, nada, yo le di la mano de corazón. Y de ahí pues aprendí que habían programas que ayudaban a las
then I
personas.
found out they have a program so I can work for him.
Mis primeros trabajos fueron con niños incapacitados, no se
The
movían.
first jobs I had was like little kids
Había
with
que darle la medicina.
disability.
Medicina, había que darle todo.
I had to give medication, everything.
Llevo 16 años trabajando con niños así.
I'm 16 years work with kids.
¿Y
like
por qué
this.
trabajo así? Porque ellos son los débiles, para mí uno es la mano fuerte de ellos.
Yeah, I can tell they are the weak part there, and I'm their arms and I'm their support.
Yo me siento que si cuando uno trabaja para esas personas, ellos son, uno los PCA como nosotros somos vitales para las personas que no pueden hacer nada.
Yeah, I feel how important we are for people cannot do anything.
Y cuando me enteré del movimiento que querían cortar PCA, querían cortar Magel, todo, so, me puse mano a la lucha y hasta ahora pues voy a todos lados a pelear por los que no pueden pelear.
Yeah, and now since I know the programs is in crisis, like they want to stop myself, and I'm going everywhere I can to help to support the program.
¿Por qué? Porque sería fuerte que a uno le tocara que uno estuviera encamado o que tuviera problemas y a nadie le llegara esa ayuda. So, yo me pongo en los zapatos de esas personas que en
Yeah,
verdad
because
necesitan.
I'm in their shoes. Like if somebody does not have no support, they are in a bed, how they gonna survive? Like if it doesn't have nobody to help.
Y hasta que pueda voy a seguir ayudando a las personas
And
que más lo
until I
necesiten.
can, I'm gonna still helping people.
Y no es por la paga, porque yo puedo trabajar en McDonald's, en donde sea.
It's not because the money, because I can work at McDonald's or somewhere else.
Yo lo hago de corazón porque
Because I do
me
this
gusta ayudar a las
with my
personas.
heart. Because I love to help people.
Y esa es mi historia hecha cortita para todos.
This is my story. I'm gonna leave it short.
Well, appreciate it. And actually, I forgot about Lesbia is also, where's Lesbia? I was also going to Lesbia,
My name is Lesbia Vidal. I'm Puerto Rican. And my English is not very good, but you could understand me. I came from Puerto Rico 18 years ago. And with my son that today is 20, at that time he was 2 years old.
My son was 3. Mi hijo era tenía 2 años. Now I started talking English.
Oh yeah. And my son is autistic, so I came here for his help. Trying to looking for a better life for him. But when I came here, I was welfare SNAP, and one day I said I cannot survive with this.
But
I want to give my son a better life. So I learned about the PCA program, and I started working for somebody. And at that time, I was able to pay my rent. I was able to give my son a better life. So, since that day until today, I am a PCA. I work for my mom. Then, like 5 years from I came here, I start working with my mom. My mom passed away, and when you are a PCA, you always a PCA. So I continue looking for somebody. I need it's not only for the pay that I receive, but the help that I could give to another people. That a person that I know that he needs me or she needs me, a person that needs my help, and I feel great. Every time that I went, I visit my consumer, and I could help her. Now I'm 60 years old, and I think that someday I could need a PCA. I'm gonna need it. So that's why I'm asking my legislators, the people that are in charge, or the people that are like playing with this program. Stop that. Stop that. We are a lot of people needing help. We need help, and we are helping people that also need help. That's why it's important for us, because 10 years ago I paid $500 for my rent. Now I'm paying $1,250. So why I do if they put a cap on on the pay that I'm gonna have. So I can't afford that. Please don't put a cap on our program.
I just want to say thank you so much, Lesbia. Thank you, Representative Gonzalez and Senator Oliveira. We, are grateful for the House's leadership on the budget. We look forward to working with you, Senator Oliveira. I know you've been a longstanding champion also of the PCA program. We're so grateful for that. We want to also ask you, though, that we're fighting real hard against Medicaid cuts at the federal level, and we need your help when that time comes too. If we get those cuts, we need your help to make up the difference at the state level. And we're so grateful to Representative Gonzalez for filing the corporate fair share legislation to make large billionaire corporations pay their fair share in taxes. That's one thing, so we're going to ask you to do that. Thank you for co-sponsoring. And then also, please draw on the rainy day fund, the state's savings, if needed, to help fund this program. Like, if Medicaid is cut, it will be raining. And we need your help generating the revenue needed, a judicious balance of those two things. We need your help with that. So I wanted to make that happen. I would love to hand it over to you guys if you have anything to add as longtime champions. Like, want to give you guys an opportunity to speak.
Mr. Chairman? Well, Mr. Leader, I should say.
Mr. Leader, now. He still remembers us.
Muchas gracias por tenerme aquí en el día de hoy. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words here. And I join my colleague in the Senate, nuestro senador Oliveras, Carlos González, un servidor, somebody that I hope all of you know who I am. Y los que no me conozcan, por favor déjenme introdúcense para hablar. Tengo mi oficina aquí, Eliana Gutiérrez también que está acá. Y venimos del mismo campo que ustedes vienen. We come from the same camp you guys come. I mean, PCAs are critical and important. Gina, thank you so much for your commitment and dedication. The whole 1199 SEIU team. 1199 SEIU. A todos ustedes, porque en la unión está la fuerza. In unity there's strength. And let me just say that we are some challenging times that you mentioned. When we saw what CCA was doing recently, and CCA aquí, la compañía de seguro, and we fought back with the secretary, and now there's another company that has purchased them to keep the same services that we have demanded from them for years, and that they will commit to continue to do it here in the city of Springfield. Si ese programa se hubiera ido, hubiera afectado millones de personas aquí en el estado de Massachusetts. A lot of thousands of people, if CCA would have closed down, would have been impacted negatively, and it would have been people that look like you and me. And that's the important part of keeping CCA here. The second thing that Gina mentioned is Medicaid cuts, Social Security cuts, Medicare cuts. They're coming down from the federal government. And we have to fight back. And we're not going to give in. We're not going to stop. Tenemos que continuar peleando contra los cortes que el gobierno federal quiere hacer de Medicaid, Medicare y Social Security. Section 8 program, la sección 8 que quieren aumentar la renta de muchas personas que están en necesidad. SNAP programs, la programa de comida, ¿verdad? Y durante esta oscuridad, and no matter how dark it may be, remember Carmen Rosado, because she's an inspiration. Ella es una inspiración, porque si ella pudo, ustedes pueden también. We all can together. Carmen is not only my sister for so many years, she's an inspiration to me, and I remember her when we go out there to the fight at the State House, because it's for individuals like Carmen who have inspired us to believe that yes we can and yes we will if we continue to fight together. She never gave up. No matter what life has given, we continue to fight, and that's the challenge that we have today. And we've had it for a long time, but we've united in this cause, and thank God to the leadership of the House, we have been able to bring some of those resources, increase some of the House One budgets. Hoy pasamos miles de dólares más para los PCAs y continuar los programas que ustedes están luchando, y nosotros en unión hemos alocado esos fondos para ustedes en el día de hoy. El Senado lo va a hacer, si Dios quiere, muy pronto, pero que la Cámara de Representantes ha estado con ustedes de hoy, mañana y siempre va a estar con ustedes. So, en terminar, en finishing, I just say is this, look at, no matter the darkness, there's always light. En la oscuridad hay una luz. Y yo estoy viendo, and I am looking out as I look at this room, mientras veo este cuarto, las estrellas dentro de esa oscuridad. You are the stars during that night. Okay? So when I look up, I see the stars. Because you are an investment. Ustedes son una inversión que el Estado está haciendo. Porque sin ustedes, este Estado tuviera que tener miles de personas en los hospitales. Because without you, many millions of people would be in the hospitals without the PCA services. Well, thank you for your commitment and dedication and your services from the bottom of my heart. Que siga para adelante. Jake Olivera.
I can speak through. I'm skinny enough right now. But thank you, leader. Thank you for hosting us in your district here. As always, you got a great champion here in Springfield who's constantly advocating with us here in Western Massachusetts. To Lesbia, to Jorge, and obviously to Carmen. Thank you for sharing your words. And for the translator, I will keep it all in English and not to confuse you. Also because I can't speak Spanish, but thank you for inviting us to be here. You know, we work very closely together, and in my rush to get here today, I didn't eat a thing before after breakfast. So I ran right to the food counter and shoved it into my face, and also stained my tie in the process as well. But that's okay. That's how you know you're eating well, is if you're not wearing it, you're not having a good time. So thank you for everybody who brought food here and provided a little nourishment for me before we go off to the next event. But also, thank you for all that you do to uplift people here in Western Massachusetts. My grandmother passed away last January at 98 years old. She died in her home, peacefully, at her own home, not in an assisted living facility. And she was able to do that because of the PCA she had going into her home. And that's the work that you do. Obviously, we can talk a lot about the dollars and cents in the budget, and that's important to advocate for. But I also, what I tell colleagues, what I tell the budget writers, is that every dollar that we invest in PCAs is long-term fiscally responsible for Massachusetts. Because every dollar that we put to keep people within their homes and not into an assisted living facility is long-term fiscally better for our Commonwealth and for our country. It is not. It's great for the individual, but it's also smart for us to invest in the PCAs. And that's why this cap that the governor proposed is completely against the principles of actually good budgeting. As Gina mentioned before, we are facing some serious headwinds without a reliable partner in the White House in Washington, D.C. Someone who's attacking the very frameworks that we hold dear, someone who is using Gestapo-like tactics to pick up people that are out there, that is simply wrong. And your legislators stand up in Washington, D.C. each and every day through Congressman Neal, Senator Markey, Senator Warren, to say no to these draconian cuts to programs that all of us rely on. So when you take the total of our budget in Massachusetts, which is roughly around $62 billion a year, 18 billion of that, 18 billion is what we get in federal reimbursements from the federal government. Out of that 18 billion, 14 billion of it is in the form of Medicaid. Medicaid, just so you know, out of our 7 million residents here in Massachusetts, 2 million of our Massachusetts residents are served by Medicaid. And 1 million of those 2 million are children.
That's Mass Health.
That's Mass Health. Those are the programs that we administer at the state level where we get money from the federal government. So cuts at the federal level will make my job and Leader Gonzalez's job very difficult, because then we have to make decisions. And I can tell you right now, our decisions are to support people and to support them through their health care. We don't want to cut our mass health programs, but there are so many other line items in the budget, whether it's transportation, our RTAs, education, all the things that we rely on. It makes it very difficult to do. But in the meantime, as the House demonstrated today in their budget, that continues to push back against what the governor was trying to do, and as the Senate takes up our budget next month, we want to make sure that we lift up your voices. Thank you for visiting the State House last month and educating all of us on the work that you do. And as we move into this next budget cycle, we'll stand up with you to ensure that cuts to these programs will not impact us, because we need to be investing in our PCAs because they keep us healthy, they keep us safe, and they're good fiscally for us as a Commonwealth. Thank you again for all that you do. Thank you to 1199. You're constantly advocating with us, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with all of you. Thank you again.
What?
We want a picture with you.
Okay, we'll do a picture. Wait, everyone, can everyone look, turn and look that way? So yes, look at, you're gonna take the picture. There'll be no pressure, but can everyone turn and look, because I think we should do this.
Let me hide my stain on my tie.
Yeah, he's gotta hide it. Okay,
You gotta
everyone,
look that way
let's
at the camera.
Wow.
Everybody smiling? Cheese. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more.
Chihuahua.
Thank you. Thank you guys. So, when you're going to be doing some other like unity business, feel free. You eat something. He doesn't eat anything all day today.